My name is Gabe O'Neill, and here I am. This is take two of my LinkedIn Live series. Actually, what I'm trying to do here is I'm practicing for the one I've got coming up on the 25th. Okay, you can stop now. I'm practicing for the event that I have coming up next week. And so what I do is I go through the whole LinkedIn Live process, my whole script. I'll watch the recording. I'll have some comments to myself, and if anybody else wants to add some, feel free to do so. Let's see if I can get the comments up just in case somebody joins. And but the idea is I want to get better, and I think this is the best way to do that is to actually do it. So that's where we are. So what we're actually talking about, we're talking about a product that I kind of tripped over and built in 2018, gave it away for free. 2019 started selling it. We call them digital business cards, but if you know a lot about digital cards as they are now, um, digital cards they're not really designed to do what we do. We kind of took a different path. We focus much more on getting people business. So, for example, when people get our digital business card, you text the word Gabe, the number 321-421-5213 to get my card. And when my card comes right on your phone, you get to see how cool it looks. And at the same time, we capture your cell phone number. So that's a little bit different in the way that most of the digital cards are dispersed, in that most of them they're not really designed to get you business, because when people text our keyword, we capture that cell phone number and we can keep connected to the client, to the prospect, so that we can hopefully, do business with them at some point in the future. That's really the idea behind it. Other digital cards are much more for they're like a Wikipedia for you to get your information out there, and that's really not what we're doing. So, but the bottom line is how we distinguish ourselves is that we are basically a stunning product. I put it right next to me. It's a stunning product, and it's got astonishing results. Now, what does that mean? Okay, so if you get the card, if you're looking at this LinkedIn Live and you see the QR code, you can scan it. So, in other words, you just put your camera, whether you have an iPhone or an Android, doesn't really matter. You just put your camera up to the focus on the QR code itself, and your camera don't take a picture of it. Don't try and snap a picture of it. Just let the camera do its work. It will translate that QR code into an action that it will want you to push. In other words, it'll actually generate the text necessary to get my card. And when it does that, you'll get my card and I'll get your cell phone number. So that's one way of doing it. The other way you can do it is you can actually text the word Gabe, Gabe, to 321-421-5213. Now, when you do that, you'll see what I say about a stunning product. I was just speaking with somebody who, I just love speaking to people I haven't spoken with in a long time. She was actually showing somebody else. The person that she was showing it to said, he's a financial advisor, and he said, there's all kinds of financial advisors out there. We all know that, right? How do I stand out? And so he says, I even he told her, he said, I even dress funky, and which apparently he does. And she said, well, you've got to get this card that Gabe creates, builds for you. He can build you a card. That's what he does. He makes people stand out. So, and in doing so, it's not an accident that we create stunning, uh, looking digital business cards. We do that because when people see mine, they remember me. And the idea is if we create a stunning one for you or whomever else you might recommend, we, they will be remembered as well. The idea is because if you're in this world as an entrepreneur or salesperson or anything like that, we have to stand out. We have to be remembered. People have to respect us. People have to look up at our digital profile, and that's another thing that we do is we elevate the digital profile. So how did this whole thing get started? Well, I touched on it a little bit. So back in 2018, we had moved from we originally moved from Maryland to the Atlanta area, but we moved again in 2000 and about early 2018 from one part of Atlanta to another, far enough away that it would prevent us from being able to attend the same networking event. And because of that, um, we didn't have anybody refer us any business. I'm a software developer. I was doing contract work at the time, and so I said, well, I've got to change this. I've got to. How do I, networking? This town is great for networking, but how do I expedite the process of me getting to know these people? And the answer came to me. Well, what if I built them something? What if I created something that looked good? That I could give away. They'd get to see. I spent a few hours on it, so not just something little, but something decent, where they would see my work ethic, they'd see my creativity, they get to see my skill, and in doing so, we'd be breaking the ice as I ask them questions on what they want and show them how does this look, et cetera, establishing rapport with them that way, a much faster way of getting to know people. So that's what I decided to do. Let me give them a digital business card, and I won't ask for anything in return. The only idea is just get because when they share it, obviously people will say, Hey, where'd you get that?" So that's how I started. So I went one morning to the local networking rib joint. It was actually a ribs place, and and I said, anybody wants a free digital business card, see me after. So anyway, at the end of it, instead of having that awkward silence where people are standing up and talking to each other because they know each other and not talking to you, they were all lining up to get one from me, and I thought that was really really cool. So it worked a lot better than I thought it did. So so that went on for a number of different months. The more I did, the more I said, well, okay, so there's a bunch of them now. So let's put them all on one page so that we can just announce that. And anybody who has one you can easily refer people out that way. And that kind of encouraged more people to get one, et cetera, et cetera. So we have, so we did that. And then we said, well, what if we added audio to it? Like you could do a soundbite on it. Oh, that'd be great. What if we added a video to it? So as we progressed, we added more and more to it. And but I thought, well, this is great. People are really liking this, but nobody'd ever buy one, right? So, and that's the thing is a really good lesson I learned from this. But so one of my mortgage people, he had some other people in his office that liked his and wanted one too. Well, they didn't even come to this networking group, right? So he said, well, so I charged them, and then they go, and so I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe some I'll sell a few here and there, but nobody's ever going to pay me enough money to make it worthwhile. So you're hearing a pattern, is what I'm trying to get to here. The pattern is that I had these self-limiting beliefs, this glass ceiling that I put above my own head that prevented me from doing anything with these things because I had all this negativity behind it. So, but then at one point I realized I thought, wait a minute. These cards are providing value for people. People are getting business from them. If I sold them to a team, that could be, that could be significant. If I sold them to a bunch of teams, that could be really significant. So so that's when and as soon as I did that, as soon as I opened up that lot that took away those limitations, things started really working for me with these cards. So in 2019, around the fall of 2019, we started selling them and focusing that on our business. And at the same time, um, along the way, somebody, and I'm not sure exactly how it first came out, or somebody who first said it, But, talk to Gabe, he's the godfather of the digital business card. And at first, that was kinda funny, and, I was trying to keep my distance from it because I didn't know if godfather was really the best thing to be associated with. But as it turns out, people really liked it, and it kinda stuck with me. So, yes, now I'm known as the godfather of the digital business card. So again, um, from there, in 2019, that's when we started to sell them. And we sold them through the end of 2019. 2020 comes the pandemic. Uh-oh, what do we do there? Well, we ended up, having that was a big as the word seems to be overused now, but it was a big pivot since we couldn't sell them anymore. And literally in one afternoon, they said next week is shut down permanently. You can't go out and sell these cards anymore. But thankfully, I got connected to virtual networking and breakout rooms and all that. So kind of it actually opened my business. So I'm now selling these across the country. But anyway, so that's all great. But what's the big deal? What is going to do? What is this digital card going to do for you? That's what you really care about. Um, well, but imagine it. Well, let me start by saying what it's done for some of my clients. So Preston called me one afternoon. He texted me and he said, "Oh, what?" He said, "I don't know what I'm going to do. I got 492 leads in one afternoon from your card." And he was at a trade show, and he said he didn't know what to do with them. And we've got a back end for where you can text them all back. But the bottom line is, once he kind of got over that shock, he said, "This is great. I'm going to turn this into six figures in 6 months." So that's one thing. So imagine you being at a trade show, and imagine you. Okay, maybe you don't get 500. I'm not saying everybody's going to get 500 leads. Maybe you got 100. Got 100 in a weekend. 100 leads in a weekend. That's a lot, especially leads. When I say leads, I'm saying cell phone numbers with their names that you can actually text back to in the platform. So the organization is all there. It's all done. A lot of the stuff is done for you where you're not, you don't have to collect all these cards and scan them in and OCR. I'm doing all this. It's already done. It's already there for you. And you have 100 leads of people. And these people, they texted your keyword. So they've already got some level of interest. If they didn't text your keyword, they wouldn't if they weren't interested in you, they wouldn't text your keyword. So think of that. Think of that one weekend or one afternoon. Think if you're a speaker. Maybe you're a speaker and you speak in front of 500 people. Maybe you speak in front of 20 people, 30, 40, but you do it a lot and you get maybe 10, 5, 10, 15%. We're going to text it. Maybe you're a better speaker than I am. Maybe you get 20% or 25. So again, these are all leads that just come right back into your database. It's not even that you have to do anything with them, other than follow up with them. So, and again, think if you're a podcaster. What if you were a podcaster and on your podcast you could say, "Hey, text energy." Well, we do have somebody that already has energy as a keyword. I'm thinking of say wellness. Say you're a wellness podcaster. The wellness keyword happens to be open or health or something like that. Text wellness to the 321 number. And then all of a sudden, you started getting all this influx of cell phone numbers. These are all warm leads. Now, let me take that another step further. What if you could get people in your funnel that text your keyword where you're not even there. You never even sent them anything. They never read your LinkedIn. They never connected with you. They don't know who you are. But all of a sudden, they've got into your sales funnel. How is that possible? Can you do that with your paper card? No, you have to give it out, right? Can you do that with your other digital business card? No, because you have to give it out. Nobody else is going to give out your paper card or your digital card for you unless they have one of our cards. because all they have to do is remember the keyword Gabe to 321 421 5213. Now, if you say that three times, it's in your head, guaranteed. Gabe to 321 421 5213. So what does that mean? If I get you to remember that, and I'm going to, and a lot of people already know that, that's how I get a lot of referrals. So they'll sit like uh, Casey, just the person I just spoke to. This guy, and the thing that was interesting about Casey's involvement was that I haven't seen her for well over a year because she was coming to our networking meetings, and I stopped doing them. And so, but recently, somebody came up to her and said, "I want to be different. I want to stand out. I want my marketing to be, to look fantastic." And she said, "Well, you need to talk to Gabe." And so she remembered me. She remembered Gabe, 321 421 5213. And when she did that, told him to do it, I got this new person in my sales funnel, and hopefully we're going to close him by next week. So this is the thing that I mean, imagine the ability. How would that make you feel if you started getting leads in your leads right in your inbox without you have to even lift a finger? I mean, granted, it's not just get the card and all of a sudden they start flying in. You have to put the work in to get it out there, to get people to remember it. You have to get people to know that that is the only way you wanna be referred out. But once you get that train going, that snowball going, it's just gonna start rolling downhill and collecting more and more. So that's really one of the things that's strong about it. So and what kind of augments that is the fact that they're all custom done. Now when I say custom, I mean, we don't just, "Oh, because your logo and your picture's on it, that means it's custom." No. No, not at all. Excuse me. What we do is we take your logo, your picture, your website colors, whatever you want, other pictures that you might want on there, books, if you have written a book, we'll put your book on there, um, anything like that. Once I get that, I say, okay, I send that to my graphic artist, and I don't give her any direction because I know she knows how to build something where it's really fantastic looking. And so I just say, "Do your magic," and she does. She comes back. I'm like a kid in the candy store. Can't wait to see what she did, and it's fantastic, right? When she gets it. So because it's not going to look like any of the others that are out there. There might be similarities, but there's no cookie cutting at all in what we do. There's no templates of any kind in what we do. So that we did that on purpose again, because if I have something that I know that's uniquely mine, and I know my card, once you see it, it's uniquely mine. Nobody else looks like anything like it. That's something. That's my brand. And who of us are not proud of our own brand? Who out there is not if you're not proud of your own brand, that's a different conversation. We can help you with a new logo. As a matter of fact, the logo that I have that I'm using now, I love it. We did I did it. My company did it. Um, and about 8 months ago, I was doing the first iteration of them, and it was okay. But I love my logo now. I love my brand, and I love to share it. And guess what happens when you share your brand? When you have that much enthusiasm, that just translates right to the next person, and they feel it, they see it, they feel it, and then guess what? You end up getting more business. So that's the reason why we do things totally custom, and we're the only company that does it that way. So again, let's kind of put in and do about 10 more minutes here. Um, let's kind of put in summation what it is that we really do. So what are the two major components of a sales process? Number one is the capturing the leads, and the second is conversion, right? I mean, they're two major components, and sales is involved that, of course, and all that good stuff, but capturing leads and conversion. So we're very heavy on the capturing leads because we can use both the QR code and having people text Gabe to 321-421-5213. That will result in me getting their information. And at some point, I'd be happy to show anybody out there. I can, as I'm not going to do in this LinkedIn Live, I'm not going to show you the product at all because I think that's a separate discussion. But I think that conceptually, if you understand what this product can do for you, then that's why you'll really understand the benefits of the quote unquote demonstration. So I'm not going to show it to you, but capturing the leads, we get the information. It's all in your database. Everybody has access to it through their own portal as to what the keyword it's all the text and their name and information there. The second part is conversion. So in order to convert somebody, you have to have their information. You have to have it stored in a place where you don't lose it. Like a lot of times, if you're going on a networking event and it's at downtown hotel or whatever it is, you come home with cards and every different. What I used to do is if I really wanted to hold on to a card, I put it in a different pocket. And then, oh, I got this guy. I got a really special. He's a really special person. I put in that pocket. And this woman, oh, I really need to talk to her. So put it in the back pocket. So I'd have them on, and then I'd go look for these cards the next day. I don't know which one. Where were they? I'm looking through all my different pockets. I can't find them. Invariably, that happened. But what happens when you get people to scan your code? They all come in right to your funnel into your portal, and so you have the ability to follow up with them. You have the opportunity with an option in our product to text people back. And texting is if you don't know this, I would hope you would. But texting is the most powerful way of connecting with people because that's the one thing that people are going to read. They're going to read their text. They may never get your email. The phone is going to be something they don't recognize the number. They're not going to pick up. They don't listen to voicemails. Sometimes I said, "Hey, did you get my email?" Well, I've got about 1,000 in my unread emails in my box right now, so I'm not really sure. I get that a lot. So, but even if you're in a meeting, even when people are in a meeting, if somebody gets a text, you see they're looking at their phone like that. Let me at least see who it's from. They might not respond to it right away, but they're gonna excuse me, they're going to read it. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say. But again, so there's the uniqueness of it. It elevates your digital profile. It makes you extremely memorable. Again, it's the fact that I get people contacting me from who hadn't talked to me in months, but they still know how to get in touch with me because of that. I just can't tell you how powerful that is. That's really fantastic. So again, to so where do we go from here? Okay, so I think from here you should have picked up that yes, this is a tool that I need to look into. And if you text the word Gabe 321-421-5213, the card will come to your phone. You'll see how it works. You'll get pretty good 75% understanding of it there. Beyond that, my website is right on is my link. They're all hot links. My website, my LinkedIn, my phone, my email, my text. You can text me. You can do. There's a video on there that even explains more. My schedule's right on the card, so you can get right on my schedule, and you can tell I'm happy to talk about this to people who are interested. So you can get right on my schedule, and and the website also has the store and all the different packages that we offer. So the one thing that again that I'll end with, and that is the value. Okay, so somebody told me today, well, don't tell people that they're going to save money on paper cards, which you will, but then they'll say, "Wow, I'm spending a lot more for this than paper cards, and that's the only thing I'm getting." No, I mean, I honestly don't even talk about paper cards much anymore. I never use them, and there's no need to. But this is I wouldn't compare it. I wouldn't say this is a digital business card, but it's not just paper digital, not just as simple as that. This does far more for you. This goes far more in the marketing end digitally than anything that you have. Also, don't compare it to other digital cards. You can if you want. I mean, if you look, as a matter of fact, I invite you to. If you have one that you like, look at it. Look at all its features. Tell me when the last time you actually got business from it was. Tell me when the last time somebody else delivered it to somebody for you. Tell me when the last time was that you used it either in person when you're standing next to the person or on a conference call or virtually in a Zoom call. Some of them are better for the others. And, some of them you can't really do virtually. Like the tap card, you can't do that virtually, et cetera, et cetera. So if you want to compare, then do a fair comparison. Look at all our features and then compare. But but what we but then I'll don't look at just the difference in price. Look at what are you spending on digital marketing right now? What are you spending on your website? What are you spending on I know people are spending 2,500 a month on help with LinkedIn. I know people are spending 2,000 a month on their ad spends. And so there's a lot of things that people are spending a lot per month. Ours is far less than that. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to remedy that. Not anytime soon, but well, maybe sooner than later. Not within the next week or two, but at some point I'm going to kind of right the ship because so many people are getting so much value. As I said, Craig got 1,200% ROI in his first 3 days. Preston got 500 leads in an afternoon, and Joel got $200,000 from his card in his first year. So where's the value there? Imagine what would that make you feel? How would that make you feel if you were able to do one of three of those things? Where you all of a sudden you've got, ooh, I got 5 new clients, and I just in that very short period of time. What would that make you feel? All right, that's it for me. Um, if you have any comments, please feel free to post them. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do exactly what I did last time. I'm going to rewatch it. Then I'm going to see where I need to improve. Hopefully, I kept my eyes on the camera throughout most of it, and we'll see because it's a lot easier said than done. Believe me. But there's that and a couple other things. Anyway, um, text Gabe to 321-421-5213. Hope to see you on my calendar. Bye.